were millions of immigrants that came to America, and they became the workforce for developing and manufacturing different things. It was a result of the people who came from Europe, the immigrants that were responsible for working and developing industry. They were manufacturing more things, and then of course the automobile was becoming the most important part of transportation, and the train system, and then the air development. Lindbergh was the first one to fly to Paris, and
Right.
from that time on, the aviation industry.
Right. Do you know what year that was?
What that was the 30s on.
Okay.
From the
Okay.
30s on.
Okay.
And then they started transportation. People started to travel from one city to another, and people started to get work in faraway states, and people were able to decide that they would leave the eastern states and go to work in the west and in the south, etc. And the country and Wall Street started to do very well, and America became one of the richest countries in the world, actually, and it was because of the success of manufacturing, immigration, and citizenship, and freedom. That was the most important thing. People who came to America, they knew that the most important thing in America was freedom and democracy, and everybody had an opportunity, no matter where they came from, to succeed. Around 1940, these were the songs we were singing. Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Brother, Can You Spare a Dime, Old Man River, and musicals like on Broadway, Oklahoma, and Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend.
Right.
Those are some of the songs that we sang.
Uh-huh.
The movies became very famous at the time. More people started to go to the movies than ever before. And of course, what happened was, with the invention and the use of television, people had entertainment in their home, actually. And and some of the in art, some of the more classical music were Rhapsody in Blue, Judy Garland and Somewhere Over the Rainbow, West Side Story, Guys and Dolls. These were all musicals that people attended.
Right.
My Fair Lady, and God Bless America was a very famous song that we sang at all sporting events and,
and
civic events.
That changed after World War II?
This was after World War II, right?
Okay.
Right.
What was before World War II? Was it any different?
Before, well, what changed the whole entertainment field was they went from silent movies.
Okay.
They went to screen and sound.
Okay. Okay.
And then came, of course, the invention of the television. And television, everybody had entertainment in their house.
Which was the mid-40s, right? 1945, roughly?
From that time on.
Right.
And so people were happy. They were enjoying entertainment at home. And and things were economically, more people were working and things were better. Related to what happened during 1940. 1940, America was under the presidency of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and he had inherited a terrible period of time from Herbert Hoover, because the President Herbert Hoover didn't do anything to help the situation when we got into a depression. So it was very difficult for people to manage. The Wall Street had failed, and there was a lot of unemployment. People didn't have any jobs, etc. And so the important thing was that the middle class didn't have a chance because there was so much unemployment. President Roosevelt and the First Lady was Eleanor Roosevelt, and she was very much involved in women's rights. She was one of the first one, etc. And the President Roosevelt had a plan which was called the New Deal. And in the New Deal, his plan was to put people back to work. And what he started to do was to give people an opportunity to work fixing roads and highways and railroads, and also a plan for farmers so that they could produce their products and they could be sold to the people who were working in the cities. Along that time, what happened was in Europe there was a leader of Germany by the name of Hitler. Now Hitler was an evil leader because he started to invade countries without any reason in terms of wanting to control what their government was doing. So we were then, it was at the beginning, it was England that was the country that decided that they would try to stop his army, and so England went to war with Germany, and Russia also helped and got involved. So it was Russia and England against Germany, but they still needed more help, military help. So the United States went ahead and gave them ships, and they gave them weapons and guns, etc. And then the United States entered into the war. And then we were, they had a draft, which meant that the government would decide on when you would enter into the army and be sent overseas to fight the German army.
Okay, now, once the war was over, how did that culture change?
When the war was over, as a result of what Franklin Delano Roosevelt did in helping to defeat Hitler and his Nazi army, was that prosperity began to start. People, class people, were the ones that started to have a better life. So this was a very important thing, because when the middle class has the things they need, the country has opportunity, and prosperity is helpful.